Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. Friday's DRF Bets race of the day is the Grade 2 Black-Eyed Susan. We're going 1 1/8 for 3-year-old fillies, and you can bet it with DRF Bets. We got a brand new deal for new DRF Bet subscribers. Bet the Preakness with free cash. A $100 deposit match bonus is yours when you sign up for a DRF Bets account at drf.com/bet. Let's take a look at this great betting race for 3-year-old fillies, the Grade 2 Black-Eyed Susan. You can access free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. We'll take this field in post position order, beginning with the Maiden. The number 1, Tell Your Mama, 0 for 10 lifetime, going to be a big price.
A little bit of an ambitious placement, but we've come to expect this from connections in the past. Again, crazier things have happened. It's a horse race, especially on a wet racetrack. You never know. Looks like everything's going to be quite sloppy on Friday afternoon down in Baltimore. I would still be quite stunned if this horse were to win.
Always have to respect the number 2 Midnight Disguises trainer, Linda Rice. This filly has already proven her mettle winning a race like the Busher, going back to a 1-turn mile. When you take a look at this filly, she is a big, robust filly, and 1 1/8 is not going to be a problem at all. She proved that in the Busanda. Last time out in the Gazelle, beaten favorite, little bit of a disappointing performance. Linda's putting blinkers on, and as we see from this formulator fact, that's been a very powerful move. Past 5 years, 3-year-olds on dirt adding blinks, 43% winners and a $3.62 ROI. She's going to get some pace to attack and is very dangerous under IRAD.
If you believe that the Busher is what she is, the 86 buyer, she can certainly win this race. My concern right now is, with the exception of the Busher, she is sort of a mid-70s kind of horse. And a mid-70s not going to get it done. I agree with you about the size of her. I have written in my horse note and formulator that she's a sea monster. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised at all if it turns into just an absolute war of attrition, which this race, for some reason, year in and year out, to me, turns into just an absolute staggerfest, and it's who can outstay everybody else. If that's the case, then maybe Midnight Disguise won.
Trainer Dale Romans won this race in 2015 and 2016. He has 2 fillies entered in the 2018 edition, including the number 3 Coach Rocks. Jockey Luis Saez had his choice of Coach Rocks or CS in charge. He sticks with Coach Rocks. Why not? He won the Grade 2 Gulfstream Park Oaks with her 2 starts back, going 1 1/16. She's wheeling back on 2 weeks in the Grade 1 Kentucky Oaks. I don't think that mattered to one of Romans' winners.
Yeah, Go Maggie Go a couple of years ago. She did that. They wheeled her back on short rest. I have to be honest, I kind of was impressed with the Gulfstream Park Oaks victory from her. And even that maiden special weight run 3 starts back, she won in gate-to-wire fashion. At least it gives me the hope that she has a little bit of versatility where, you know what, if the pace heats up, she can sit off of it. And if for some reason it doesn't develop, she can go and push the issue. I think she's talented. I just don't know what kind of price she's going to be in here.
We're expecting a big wet racetrack on Friday. Red Ruby is at least 1 over sloppy going. That was her win in the Martha Washington Stakes, and I thought she looked really good beating a solid enough field. In the Honeybee, that was kind of a weird pace dynamic with that very fast Amy's Challenge running off to an early lead, and Red Ruby just kind of didn't fire. In our notes leading up to this race from our DRF reporters in their race advances, they mentioned that Red Ruby's a flighty horse. She had some problems after that start. She banged into a stall. She needed stitches. She missed the Fantasy. She missed the Kentucky Oaks. So she's coming into this race off of a 2-month layoff with a big crowd hollering at her.
And if you believe the morning line, to me, whether she wins or loses, she would be the underlay of the race, because you see that giant gap in the workout tab late March into early May. She missed an entire month's worth of training. Boy, this may not be a star-laden field, but at the same time, for her to win this race, she's going to need 15 things to go her way. I suppose it's possible, but at the price that she's likely to be, if you believe the 5-to-1 morning line, to me, that's just a bad bet.
But I think she's pretty good, and she's going to get the right pace set up. I wouldn't completely count out Red Ruby. I understand what you're saying about the price. She was in against Sassy Sienna last time out. That one came back to win the Fantasy that Red Ruby was forced to miss with an 82 buyer. Marab is interesting for Graham Motion. What a beautiful distance pedigree by Tisnow out of the classy pulpit mare B Sharp Sonata. And this filly, listen, she didn't beat much last time out, but that's how you beat a field that's not much. You beat them by 8.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she did it the right way, and I know it was at Laurel, but you've seen enough horses move from Laurel over to Pimlico and be successful. The problem with this girl is she's just painfully slow on paper. She got a career best fig of 66, and even Timeform has her a little bit on the slow side. Not quite as slow as Beyer, but the idea here is if you like a horse like this, you are hoping that it turns into an absolute war of attrition, and she just outstays everyone.
The 6 is CS In Charge, who beat Marab in the Suncoast Stakes at Tampa Bay 2 starts back. Then no match for Monomoy Girl in the Ashland. I won't hold that race against her. A, Monomoy Girl's pretty good. She came back to win the Kentucky Oaks with a 97 buyer. B, CS In Charge had the unenviable role of chasing Monomoy Girl at the start of that race. That was not a good setup for CS In Charge. I think she'll be forward in here. I wonder, though, if she's kind of in here to set things up for Coach Rocks a little bit.
It's going to be interesting to see how they play that. Like you say, uncoupled entry for Romans, who goes, who sits, because they've both shown the ability to be forwardly placed in the past. I think you get a better move second off the layoff. And again, go back to that run 3 starts back over a sloppy sealed racetrack. Her best race to date, 79 buyer. If you think she can take a step forward, she's interesting.
Let's take a look at the Timeform U.S. pace projector for the Black-Eyed Susan. The 7 Good One Honey is expected to be on the lead. We are expecting a fast pace. No surprise in a field this size. Boy, this filly looked good last time out, beating a couple of these in the Weber City Miss. She ran away. She hid by 7 lengths in her first start around 2 turns. Now, she is taking a big step up in class, but she was able to handle a fast pace last time out, and she got a big fig, an 86 buyer speed figure. To me, 5-1 on her, though, is a little bit of an underlay because she's going to have to stretch out another 1/16 of a mile with a similarly fast pace against much better horses.
She's kind of a fascinating entrant in here for me because I've been blown away by both of her starts, and now you've got to make the decision. Do you think that she can do it against better horses? I guess the thing for me, look, obviously she faced a much weaker field last time out, but I don't think she's facing a very good field in here. I think if there's anyone that just puts on a show and blows the doors off this field, it would be this girl because she's done nothing wrong in 2 starts.
Indy Union, the daughter of Union Rags, Belmont Stakes winner, is the number 8 in this field. She chased Good One Honey in vain last time out in the Weber City Miss, but it was her first start off of a lengthy layoff, and perhaps she can improve with that race under her girth. But I have a feeling she really needs a fast pace to enhance her chances. You're getting Jose Ortiz at a price 10-1 on the line.
If they cook early, she's probably going to come on toward the end. I'd imagine Jeremiah's going to have her ready to go second off the layoff. Something that you have to factor in, though, she's run on a wet track on 2 different occasions, and from a speed figure standpoint, neither of them have been particularly strong. I do wonder a little bit, does she just despise a wet track?
Love the buyer progression shown by the 9 Sarah Street from start to start, culminating in a 91 performance last time out in the Grade 2 Gazelle at this distance. We've talked about Wood Memorial Day at Aqueduct in the past, and I thought that the inside wasn't that great. Sarah Street ended up down on the inside after prompting the pace throughout. I thought it was a solid performance, and she's really bred for a wet track. Street Sense 19% on off track according to Formulator. The Dam won the Grade 3 victory ride over a sloppy track with a career best 104 buyer, and if you believe the pace projector, she's sitting second off of the 7. If you think that the 7 has some class concerns and distance concerns, Sarah Street could be in with a big chance at the 3/16 pole.
Highest last up buyer in the field with a 91, and like you say, my Miss Lily, if she were in this race, she'd probably be odds on. So Sarah Street has a lot going for her, and you brought up the most important piece. 2 starts back in that Busher, she sat just off the pace and put in a good run. I know she couldn't quite get the better of Midnight Disguise, but there's a lot to like here about Sarah Street. It's going to be interesting to see how they better.
Stakes on a Plane completes the field. She's adding Lasix, and again, no match for Good One Honey and Indy Union in that Weber City Miss, but I wonder if she moves up in a big way with Lasix. She moves up in a big way with a hot pace. I'm a little bit concerned about the distance. You see these runaway and hides, and you don't exactly think 9 furlongs, but I don't think it's completely out of the question that she could round out your super.
First time Lasix, she's going to have to come from out of it. She got the best name in the entire race. I don't think that helps her out on the racetrack so much, but maybe she's one that at a big number can run 3rd or 4th.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Black-Eyed Susan. You're going for a big price. The 5 Marab is 30-1 on the morning line for the Great Graham Motion, coming off a big confidence-boosting win. She's got the pedigree for this distance, and you don't think much of this field. Why not go for a price?
That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. I'm not blown away by any of the other girls, and I love the way visually that she did it in that 9 winners of 1 other than. And also, I have to be honest, I liked her Suncoast. Thought she was against a speed favorite track down at Tampa, and then she came back and for some reason didn't pick her feet up in the Gulfstream Oaks. I'm hopeful that you get a best career effort here, 3rd start off the bench, but admittedly, she's slow on paper.
You're certainly better to win at those odds, but give me numbers.
I'm going to go 5-7-3-2.
Kicking off a $300,000 guaranteed 50-cent pick four, kicking off the Black-Eyed Susan Preakness Daily Double. I'll take Sarah Street. I like the progression. I like the tactical speed. I like the wet track pedigree. I like the fact that she was against the track, I think, last time out in the Grade 2 Gazelle. She'll be my top pick, 9-7-4-10 in the Black-Eyed Susan. If you are playing the Black-Eyed Susan from home, please consider DRF bets. You can bet the Preakness with free cash. Get a $100 deposit match bonus at drf.com/bet. Approximate post time for the Black-Eyed Susan, race number 11 at Pimlico on Friday, 4:48 Eastern. Best of luck.